Oh, we're live? All right, amazing.
The timing was perfect.
What are we talking about on this live?
We're just hanging out.
Oh,
Just random. Anything that's going on. What's been going on in the world, y'all?
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. You know, we didn't wish
happy
people.
Indigenous Day. I'm gonna call it.
Oh, you know what? You're right, because we're not, Thanksgiving is really for like the colonizers.
Like that, it's crazy that we used to be celebrating it like casually and just be like, bro, it's the day that like they got their land stolen.
Oh no, we still, it's still under the after dark.
But we can change it. Yeah.
Okay.
You can still.
But he said he changed it already.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a
But I
thumbnail,
forgot. Yeah,
so-
I remember back people used to say like they weren't celebrating Thanksgiving, and now this year nobody said that, and I forgot. So I forgot that we weren't celebrating. We weren't supposed to celebrate. Like,
do Sudanese really celebrate the real meaning of Thanksgiving, or do we just be like, oh, it's a day for food and partying?
No, we celebrate. I don't know what the real meaning of Thanksgiving is besides giving thanks and being grateful for what we have. As far as like the whole Christopher Columbus thing, they don't know anything about that. So, you know,
it's true, which is the problem, because we got to start educating our parents. Well, the educated parents know, but most of the uneducated parents tend to be like weirdly conservative in the wildest way. Like I saw a video today of like Sudanese people like in the Thanksgiving thing mourning Charlie Kirk, and I'm like, do y'all understand?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Really? I'm like, do y'all understand who Charlie Kirk was? Like,
they just think that he's like a Christian, and so
when
they don't know anything about like his actual rhetoric and what he stood for, as far as like the political side of things. They just think, oh, he's a Christian. So Jeremy said, "Hey Sarah, how your last name Benjamin and you South Sudanese?" I think it's because
do they not know how Sudanese names work?
Yeah, I think it's because like the Christian missionaries went to South Sudan. I think. No. Why is my last name Benjamin? That's my family. That's just my family name.
That's your father's.
Yeah, I thought he was talking about. I was thinking about my name Sarah, but yeah, my last name Benjamin is like that's just my father's name. Like,
so with Sudanese people, we don't really go like my father's last name is not my last name, right?
Mm-hmm.
My father's last name is
his father's first name.
Yep.
Right.
So my last name is my great grandfather's name, and my middle name is my father's name, and that's really how it usually goes with Sudanese people. So like you're gonna be named after your father, and it could continue to your lineage all the way back until a certain period of time. So you can trace to your great grandfathers and who really were, and then it goes to like the specific tribe, the technically the mascot or the national like thing about your tribe, like for like Ram, which is like a specific bird, and it represents the area and the specific piece of land that your family originated from. So a lot of people can just trace it back that far. So like when people talk about ancestry, it's really not difficult for us to know our ancestry like that. And that's one of the dope parts about how Sudanese names really work. But that's why even most of us don't take on, like if I was married to a woman, she's not going to take my last name. We don't do the last name stuff.
I think until you come to the Western
Yes, we
world.
do.
Y'all do?
I think when you come to the Western world.
Well, it comes to the Western
here.
world, they'll do that. But like back home, you're still like named. Like my mom still has her.
Yeah, my
Her
mom
parents'
didn't
name.
take my dad's last name either.
Really?
Doesn't really, yeah.
Oh yeah, my mom didn't either, but my sister did.
Yeah, because you're the next
more
generation,
modern.
but
Yeah.
you don't need to. So there's just some aspects I think of the culture that's more progressive than they pretend like Sudanese are.
Right.
And that's why I would say a lot of the things that we do have now where we think it's consistent tradition isn't necessarily the traditions of like our grandfathers and our great-grandfathers.
But I was talking about, because I was thinking about my name, my first name, Sarah. And I think that was taken from like the Christian missionaries coming to South Sudan.
Yeah.
And then that's how I got that name. But my actual traditional name is Chimot.
Yeah.
Which is a Dinka tradition. Well, it's not a traditional Dinka name, but it's a Dinka name. Not a lot of people don't have that name.
See, that's what I'm saying. People will call me Amanual, but back in my house, they don't call me Amanual. It's like,
What they call you?
they call me Cholo. That's my.
Oh,
that's my
okay.
name, yeah.
That's cute. What they call you, Cynthia?
No.
She's like, government.
She doesn't you
Nah,
don't really
not
have.
no. And also for listening to Emmanuel speak, and even you, Sarah, I think this has been like a little like a mental like a thing in my mind that never comes out. But when people say South Sudanese, I think sometimes speaking from your own experience, you're speaking about your own tribe. So certain things in your own tribe, other tribes don't necessarily do. So it's always interesting to hear, like the name thing. I'm like, oh, I don't. This is how my tribe does. You know, like play it back in your head, like, interesting. So my parents are different.
Yeah.
Just the straight Christian rather than my dad ended up being a Muslim. So
do you think that like we need to do more like interviews with like elders and parents from like different tribes? Because we do need to get all 64 tribes, and we do need to have like voices for everybody.
64 is crazy.
No, okay. So I feel like we just need to do more education in general. Because I had some people over on Thanksgiving, and one of them is like young, but he's straight from South Sudan. Like he came here recently, and he's working on his like immigration status as well. So that's a topic that we have to talk about. But he was like, what are the 10 states in South Sudan?
Yeah, you're not.
I was struggling. I was like, I was like Lake State, Western Equatoria, Eastern, and then I forgot that there's 3 different Equatoria states:
Central, Western,
and then Eastern.
No,
there's Eastern Equatoria.
There's Central Equatoria, Western, and then Eastern Equatoria. I couldn't remember. It's right, North and South.
But I was struggling. Then he was like, "How do you not know the 10 states of South Sudan? How can you not say it easily? And you guys have a South Sudanese platform." I'm like, dang, you got us.
I think that's the thing. We're a South Sudanese American platform, so you got to give us grace that. No, because we did grow up in America, so we're not gonna be as well versed as someone who lives there.
But it's like I feel like we do need to be a little bit more well versed or trying to learn more. And I was like, okay, that's a good point. Maybe we could do that as an episode and talk about the differences of the 10 states, because each of them have like different tribes that reside there, like different things that are going on. So that would be really interesting. And then like, some people are closer to Ethiopia, so they eat more like Ethiopian food, or it's just like there's so many interesting things that we can delve into on that. So I was like, okay, we could do that.
And because we are live, I can always fact check.
Oh yeah.
Central Equatoria, Eastern Equatoria, Jonglei, excuse the pronunciation here.
Yeah, that's right.
Lakes, Northern Bahr el Ghazal, Unity, Upper Nile, what up? Western Bahr el Ghazal, and Western Equatoria. So yeah.
I think
and that's not a lot of states.
It's not, but I mean, it's still
we have no choice. We have no excuse but to know our states in South Sudan. If we can learn all 50 states in America.
You know what? I would love to do like if we could play a game where we like study for like a couple weeks and we do a Sudanese citizenship test with us.
That's funny.
Like, that would be dope to see if we could actually pass that
would be fun. Like not the American citizen test, the South Sudanese one. Yeah.
I mean, I know we technically should know, but then should we? Because
we're not there.
I mean, we have to have grace for ourselves because, I mean, why would we know that on any given day?
That's true.
Like the 10
states. But I think we should know because we have a platform that's the South Sudanese base.
Yeah. But our niche is that we target the diaspora because we know that we tried that before. That's not our strong suit.
Like we openly admit that we don't know everything.
But we do this so we can learn. So we can do this South Sudanese citizenship test. I think that would be fun to help us learn more. Yeah. Because I've learned more just being on this podcast than I knew before we started it. So
what are some things that you guys didn't know that you guys learned on this podcast about South Sudan? I didn't know that Juba was like originally for Equatorian land. Like I did not know
the
that.
Bari tribe.
The Bari tribe specifically. I did not know that.
Look at her be like, that's my people's land.
Yeah, that's my people's
I did not know that.
Land. Yeah, because before when we were one country, the South was not as developed. Everyone kind of like, was in their respective places. But when we split, then they were trying to look for where should they make the capital. And I think it was between Juba and like one other place. Yeah. If I remember correctly. Yeah. So, I mean, before that, Juba was just a random, it's just another area.
Yeah, but then they specifically made it the capital.
Exactly.
And then everybody kind of went.
Yeah. So before.
And then had to push out the ancestral people or the people that were already living there.
Well, yeah, because they needed the land. So. Yeah.
I didn't know
farmland and all that.
Do you feel like the progression, do you feel like that as we grow as a country that there needs to be more willingness to have the middle ground of keeping ancestral lands, like ancestral and like taking care of like irrigation and not allowing pollution? Because I was watching what was happening in Kenya recently with the migration patterns of like the Cape Buffalo and how they what's the Ritz-Carlton? They were doing eco like camping areas and over there, and it was kind of they were trying to force the migration of these animals to a different area. And it's like they've been going for 10,000 years in this area, and you decide to put luxury, hotels right there.
Yeah.
And we're expected to just be normal. And is it like, should we be careful to not overdevelop our people and our lands the way that we do? And what's the biggest fear with that?
Yeah, I heard a lot of Kenyans were talking about how the UN is moving, like I guess one of the UN headquarters of Africa is moving to Kenya.
I think I heard that recently too.
And how like that's gonna like cause more like inflation or like increase prices in like the economy and like push people out. So there was a Kenyan girl who was talking about it in more depth. So I thought I was like, oh, that's great. You know, at first, like, that's great. The UN is going to Kenya. But a lot of people are saying that's not going to be the best thing for people who are already struggling.
Yeah, think about what comes. It's like even here, we can come back to Dallas, right? How people are coming from other states. Like, that sounds great. You start thinking about, is it really traffic? Is it really?
Oh, man.
You know, your commute changes. Even like your interaction with people changes because now you have other people from different cultures in different states. Coming. So it's almost similar to that.
Yeah.
You have the UN popping up. That's amazing, right? And then you think about what comes with that.
Yeah. Like they're gonna get like first dibs on like they're gonna on the like the nice places. So it doesn't really make a big difference for the people who are already like on the poverty line or already struggling. So
I mean, you're Bari, and that's why I wanted to tie it in. Is like, as a Bari person, do you feel like that Juba should like they should educate the whole of the community on the Bari people and just at least be respectful that like they were there first and that like this is their land, and like even though we're all South Sudanese, there should be like a level of like, oh, this is where it was, this is what it was before it got developed, this is the history of it, and it should be consistently told so that like we don't forget. Because like when people think of Cuba, I didn't even know it was Bari. And do you feel like any sense of like, oh, I think people should be more respectful and like willing to listen?
From what I gather from my dad and like just overhearing conversations, I do think so. I think that's a big reason for why people are angry. And there's like a lot of, like ever since the country split, there's been a lot of conflict and people are just unhappy because a lot of people were getting like killed and stuff. And like even recently my uncle passed away in September and he was flown back home to be buried in our village, and no one can sleep in the village. Like no one can stay there overnight. You have to come during the day because they'll come and like kill people at night. Or my aunt, she built a house and like she made like a whole area in our village, and they came and stole all the furniture out of the house. It's like we can't stay there overnight anymore. You could just go do the burial during the day, and then everyone has to leave at night and like go back to where it's safe. So it's like things like that, you know, I think it just creates bitterness and resentment, you know. So, and it's not just Juba. I'm sure there's so many other areas where people have been pushed out and feel like, you know, that's their ancestral land where their family members are buried and they can't even be there. Or like, I know our people are big on agriculture, a lot of farming. And when you take away their farmland, it's like they don't have nothing. So that creates food instability and a bunch of other stuff.
Do you feel like that? So, for example, when you're talking about the agriculture and like the willingness for the government to throw its own people under the bus and not willing to listen, like recently with the whole trying to do a new oil deal where they're basically selling new oil for like the future to try to get this money and not willing to develop agriculture the way that they are. Do you feel like that ties into like our government not really listening to our people the way that they should?
Well, yeah,
have
of
they
course.
ever?
That's what I'm saying. It's a story as old as time. It's like them serving their best interest. There's no reason why South Sudan in general should ever be hungry because we have the most fertile land. Like, so the fact that people are starving and there's like food instability, it's crazy.
Not only could we feed like ourselves, we could feed East Africa.
Yeah, we could feed most of Africa is what I heard. So, which is why like when they talk about the war in Sudan, like a lot of those countries are in the Middle East, when they say UAE and all of them are like trying to get an interest because they are targeting the fact that we do have such fertile land that could help feed their country. Because I think they import most of their food because they're like more in a desert environment. So, like we have everything that we need. We're rich as far as resources go, but
we're not feeding our own people.
Yeah.
I wish that like the question that you asked about like people understanding the history of like the Bari tribe and how they were originally inhabiting Juba. Like we don't have any like we have history, but like are we like learning our history? Like is there like like a resource or a curriculum that
all
teaches
oral. So a lot of the stuff I've learned is through my dad telling me stories as a kid.
Right.
Like even a lot of the Bari speaking tribes, like I think it's Kuku.
I got you on that.
Nyangwara. What is it? Why did everything? Oh, I think for Julu too, they speak Bari. So my dad said back in the day, we all used to be one tribe, and then as people migrated and like kind of spread out, it's like they kind of formed their own tribes, and that's why we still speak the same language, but now they're like separate tribes. So even the story of the word, how Juba came, like Juba's named after Jubik. Well, my dad used to tell me the story of Jubik as a kid. So just all of that, I think
all of that, like we're learning from like oral history.
And I'm
again.
sorry, y'all, I'm sick, so I'm like forcing my voice. I probably sound crazy. But...
Yeah, no, you sound good.
Yeah, you sound good. But Christine's not feeling well today.
Yeah,
they probably couldn't even tell.
I'm like having chills and stuff in here.
Nah, you killing it because like I didn't know all that, and it makes me like think about how many of our tribes were one tribe, and like these disputes really ended. Because like let's be honest with ourselves, the Dinka and Nuer are the same fucking people. You can't tell the difference between the Dinka and Nuer until they kind of speak. Because everybody else is like that's the same language.
But the fighting and the hatred and
it's so real, as if like y'all we weren't just like one people at some point.
As if I don't got Nuer friends and like and Dinka friends that be chilling with each other here, but if we go back home, all of a sudden we got family beef. Like
we have some.
I was gonna mention.
Go ahead.
I was gonna mention. You asked earlier about like what we learned on the show, and I was like, I think I took away a lot of information in regards to the tribes. 64 tribes with 12 nationalities. So back to what you're saying, people are like, oh, I'm Dinka. You're like, Dinka what though? These things I didn't really know until I had friends. You're like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
so
there's so many different types of Dinka, and then they fight amongst each other too.
Exactly. I learned that growing up in the community when we used to have community events and stuff. That there's different like Dinka Bor, Dinka BA stuff, and then. So it's crazy because it's like we'll fight amongst the 64 tribes, and then within the tribes,
they're also fighting.
I will say this: Dinka BA is the thick ones. Just know that it's the truth. But I also say with Dinka BA, we got like kind of a, it's a little bit of a syndrome compared to everybody else because we get called like Arab. It's the funniest shit in the world. Yeah,
because y'all are like in the middle.
Yeah, because we both countries, right?
Like north and south. Yeah, but Arab is crazy because y'all don't even look Arab.
Insane.
It's because
some of y'all do because some of them mix with the Arab.
Look what you're saying.
What?
Speaking just like.
Oh my bad.
Speaking like everybody else, but my uncles and my what's called when they speak, they're always speaking about. They tell us that we Arab. We're not Dinka, but we Dinka. Yeah, we want to be from the south.
Don't they do the same thing with Equatorians? They say that they're not South Sudanese. Y'all are Uganda.
From Kenya, all these other places. But I'm like, nah, I'm pretty sure I'm from Juba.
But the truth is, a lot of some tribes did go to Uganda or Kenya and then come back.
What do you mean go? That whole area. Okay, the borders we have are so distinct.
Like I just said about the Bari tribe, like before we got split up into countries, like you have the Acholi tribe that's in multiple countries. You have certain tribes that are in multiple countries because they were there and before the borders, and they migrated
even because of war. Like they moved, they had to like flee war. Like,
it's crazy how some Nuer people they go to Ethiopia. Like I think Nima was saying when she visited, like her family went to Ethiopia. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. And some people go to Uganda.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Tarek mentioned something about Uganda. So
even someone in the
Kenya.
chat. Please forgive me if I mess your name up. Achan. Loki.
That's good.
So there's so many other South Sudanese tribes you guys aren't aware of. We've just been displaced in Uganda and Ethiopia. Shaking my head. So yeah, we agree with that.
She said 14 days, no episode. We're actually gonna pause. I think that we should take a pause for the rest of the year.
They're not gonna like that.
Well, it's only 2 weeks left. With these, we're gonna have 2 episodes for December, but we're gonna reset, and then I feel like next year we're gonna come like with the cleaner, more organized layout and plan,
and like strong episodes,
right? Like we used to. We just kind of got caught up. So I think that we do acknowledge the fact that it's been 14 days.
At the end of the year always is really hectic for us,
and that's why we gotta allow y'all to be able to support us so that we can be able to function a little bit better and give y'all more content, and we'll be able to give y'all more exclusive stuff. So we will ask y'all eventually to kind of support the Patreon. Because if y'all want more content and y'all want more of the people and more tribes and even more separate like shows coming from the channel, that will come out different days.
Yeah.
Y'all have to, because this is a community thing. We asked you if you have an idea for a show or if you want to be able to build with us, we're willing to listen. And this is as much your platform as it is ours. Because the whole point of Ladies of Sosa is to eventually get so big that we can have separate entities in different countries so that we can have the voices of everybody heard. So all 64 tribes, if you're a member of these tribes, get your tribal members together so that you can have your own conversation and your own shows that we could put on the platform to push you further. Because that's the whole point, is to be able to have a network that's for us, by us, and that will allow us to speak our people and to just be able to show the world what we really are without everybody else controlling our narratives. So
not
control
just the
your narrative.
Patreon, also a member. You can become a member of the channel too.
Yeah.
But the Patreon.
But the Patreon will give we're gonna give exclusive content on
and
there.
And it's linked on our link tree.
Yeah, it is.
We'll add the link.
But once we do actually hard launch the Patreon, we're gonna have exclusive content on there. We'll probably give the episodes earlier. We're trying to figure out what we can give that will actually give value to the Patreon.
Well, what do you and Elisa had an idea?
Yes. So, and I'm also working on, me and Elisa are working on an African true crime segment for Ladies of Sosa. So we'll be discussing just true crime episodes or series that have happened here, either in the diaspora to us, like African people who were displaced, or true crime situations that actually happened in the continent. And so we are actually working on that. And yeah, it's actually going to be, I think we're working on the name. We're thinking of Nubia, because Nubia means black, or something cute. And then that would be a segment of Ladies of Sosa. That way we can have a little bit of everything. So we have the podcast, we have true crime. Hopefully we'll have sports in the future.
Yeah, we'll be able to get some.
South Sudanese people are making
sports for sure.
Yeah.
So sports is going to be fun because obviously I'm football based, but we have a lot of athletes that are connected with us, and we can try to get them on the shows and really have a conversation. Because if you boys want to talk soccer, we'll get Tyrick on that because I don't know nothing about soccer.
Tyrick can play soccer.
Well, he's a soccer fan.
He's a soccer fan.
Yeah.
Basketball, we could talk about basketball. That's what I ended my playing career as.
You used to play basketball?
I was 6'2" center. I was killing these big boys. I could really ball. Yeah.
What? I thought you were more like a football person.
Me too.
I was until I got kicked off. Well, I didn't get kicked off my team. I just did some drug stuff. But
wait, so you did football first and then basketball? Or basketball first?
I did football first and then I did basketball. That's what
Shauna said. Amanual, isn't your brother an athlete?
My brother and my sister. The best athlete in the family right now is my sister, who plays at Hofstra. So if y'all go look, there's a Sudanese girl by the name of Yanangui. She's the best basketball player in the family. Well, my other cousin is great too. She's doing pro in Australia.
Wow.
Shout out to Yom.
And Juju played in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean Juju did practice squad stuff, but you can't.
But he was signed
his agent was doing this thing, but his knee, he was like, I'm done. Time to be an engineer.
Juju said, I got my degree. I'm good.
That's what took me out the game. I'm just kidding.
The knee?
I mean, yeah, it was high school.
And but my youngest brother,
all the questions.
My youngest brother, his football career is really just blossoming. He's a sophomore. He's looking at some schools right now. 6'4", 275 pounds right now. He's still growing.
Damn.
And, they just went to state, lost in the second round. That boy was hurt. But shout out to my little brother Ngui.
Ngui. I like that.
You're going to see that boy up.
South Sudanese love doing that.
I know. Dinka people especially.
First name and last name. The same name.
I remember I had a student like that. He's from a West African country. I can't say his name on here, but it was like, my name is so-and-so. I was like,
yeah.
It was like
what's your last name? He was like, so-and-so.
They be doing like ding ding.
Yeah.
Like,
ding, ding. I know ding ding is like a big one.
When we were kids, you're like, dang.
Asians have that.
Who's the tallest in your family, Amanual? That's what.
Well, it was my grandfather. My grandfather was like 7'2", but
7'2".
The tallest one that's alive is my little cousin. He's 6'7", 6'8". And then the rest of them are about the same, 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". I'm the shordest. I hate that, but I am.
You're tall. You're like 6'4".
No, I am 6'2". I'm just wide, 330 pounds.
You feel taller.
Yeah, you do.
So Shannon Sharp said that on his podcast. He said he was 6'2", and I was like, he seems taller.
He looks
to
tall.
me.
Because men lie. And like when people say that they're 6'2", they're really like 5'11" or 6'4".
Oh my God.
So when people look at us when you're actually 6'2", they're like, oh my God, you're tall. No, I'm just.
Am I 6'2"?
Yeah.
I know. I felt like he was 6'.
My brother David's 6'2", and y'all don't look.
You're
like
taller.
The same. You give it
6'4"
for some reason.
I stopped looking at my height once I turned 18 because I didn't play
He's 6'4"
any sport anymore.
He's definitely 6'4".
No, don't let them lie to you. I'm 6'2".
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
We'll measure.
Yeah.
So you have tape back there, measuring tape? Next show.
Jeremy said Tariq is the enemy of black people.
Don't let
Tariq is out of town.
Why do you think he's in Atlanta?
Oh my
he's
gosh.
in your stomping grounds. He's in Georgia.
Yeah, if you want to pull up on him,
just let him. Okay, first of all,
we're not gonna drop the location.
Okay,
but
if you ran
into him randomly now.
But why? Okay, but why is Tariq the enemy of black people? I think he's just a natural antagonist. He likes to push like the status quo, but when I talk to Tariq in like private in real life, he's very pro-black. Very pro-black. He pisses me off about Sudan, like South Sudan. That's one thing I can't rock with that.
You can't let that Ugandan citizen get on you about South Sudan.
Well, I feel like he doesn't have grace. He doesn't have grace for like South Sudan, but he has grace for he doesn't understand the split. He doesn't understand the split between North and South, but then he wants to. But he also wants to like say that South Sudanese people, like he also has a lot of criticism for our government right now. And it's like, but you didn't have criticism for the government of Sudan when they were doing all the atrocities to us South Sudanese? That part, I don't understand that.
I think Tariq is like, he's a mix of...
But he's not here to, defend
because remember, he's also a United States patriot. He got he was in the military here. So there is kind of a little bit of bias, but I'll also say he does have the country's best interest at heart.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he can see the outside factors in a lot of the stuff, which is like, I think when we did divide, it led to what could happen right now in Sudan, where it's like, it is the genocide of the people of Darfur. And like, it's easier for them to go through it now because we've kind of separated ourselves from the other black people that were always a part of Sudan. And also like other foreign adversaries and people that are in a part of Sudan, like Ugandan president, and even the Rwandan president being able to be involved in our countries the way that they are. Let's just say those two countries, I'm suspicious because they're a little too buddy-buddy with the United States and the West. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say too much.
That's true.
You said a lot already.
I agree. I agree. You know what I love? I see a lot of like celebrities and a lot of people with platforms speaking for Sudan and like the indigenous people of Sudan, the ones who have been marginalized, like the Darfurians. I've seen a lot of people. Vic Mensa was one of them. He's very educated. I like that.
That you lusted over Vic Mensa.
His dad was like best friend with John Garang. I was like, oh
yeah, he said that.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Well, he broke everything down. Like, you know, a lot of people will just be like, I stand with the Sudanese people, but he broke the whole situation down. I was like, very impressive for somebody that's not from the country. You don't have to do your research, but he did. So
I mean,
that.
The research was him. Like, if your family best friend, if your dad's best friend is so informed about Sudan, that was dope to see that hip hop connection to Sudan. It kind of warmed my heart because I remember Vic Mensa. I remember watching him on Everyday Struggle. I remember listening to his career and being like, this dude should be bigger. And to see him pivot and use his fame to be able to like help our people, I was like, see. Hip-hop being this close to Sudanese people, like, for example, Boss with J. Cole. And a couple of the Sudanese creators. Like, Drake's best friend was Sudanese. Like, it's like little things like that where I have, like, fun facts about hip-hop that I'm like...
Yeah. I mean, the Darfurian and, like, the indigenous people's struggle in Sudan is very reminiscent of struggles of many people.
Of the indigenous people in the United States. Like,
yeah, exactly. So it's very reminiscent. So I think they just resonate with that. And I love that. Like, we need that.
And I think that's where we have to have a general conversation about, as Sudanese people, should we celebrate Thanksgiving when we are going through kind of similar situations in our country, and we did have to go through similar situations. So it's like understanding that I think we do need to have more indigenous like solidarity with other groups of people because we know what they're going through
Facts.
And how their voices get silenced. Because like, how many Native Americans have we been able to talk to and be able to have a conversation with and like really discuss how they feel about the erasure of their people to the point where like the face of their homeland is not them.
Yeah. I was watching a movie yesterday and one of the characters was saying like, we came to America and the Indians gave us their lands. And I was just like, not on Thanksgiving weekend. This is crazy. Like, just gave us.
A movie?
Yeah, it was a movie. I forgot the name of the movie, or it was like a show. It was on Netflix. But yeah, the white man was saying that the Indians gave them the land. I was like, oh Lord, not today.
We got some comments.
Let's see.
Afri said Tariq seems like a contrarian.
Tariq is a contrarian. He'll tell you that himself.
John said, despite all the atrocities, as you put it, I don't think that was enough for the union to split. I actually like the topics you guys raised. Wish I was there. Wish I were there. Okay.
Wish you were here too. We're gonna like eventually one day have this like an open forum to that, our live.
You see that one?
Yeah.
Tariq got a platform, and all we got to go off of is what he's saying. We could say Tariq Nasheed, a good person.
What do you think about John's comment? That's kind of.
Wait, what?
Calling him Tariq Nasheed is the ultimate.
He said he's worse than.
Yeah, he said we could say Tariq Nasheed, a good person. He's just trolling. They both unacceptable.
Nah, because I think Tariq, whenever you listen to him and he actually starts to speak about like what he knows and like informed facts, because he does go banter with me a little bit, and that's kind of my fault because sometimes I do get a little too jokey with some serious topics. I'm here to defend Tariq. Like when you break him down and he's actually being serious, he is for the progression of like our people.
And Tariq, he on this platform, he wants to push the envelope a little bit, like so that we're not all agreeing on the same thing, you know? So he wants to like see like, do we really stand for what we're talking about? And then like, and that's why he kind of pushes the envelope. Not to, well, I am like standing up for him, but that's kind of who he is. Cause we know him in real life, and in real life he is very pro-black. I don't agree with him on everything. For sure. No. But especially the South Sudanese things, like there's some things I don't agree with, but he's very pro-black. He's for the advancement of us, all of us.
And that's why we have to be honest with ourselves. As a group of people, even as Sudanese, we're not a monolith either.
Yeah.
We know we're not a monolith because we're very much divided in a lot of things, but I also say we want the same thing, which is the progression of our people.
Okay. John said, despite all the atrocities you put, I don't think that was enough. That was enough for the union to split. I actually like the topics you raised. We wish we were there. I disagree with you. I feel like it was necessary for us to split. 100% necessary.
I mean, okay, so our greatest leader, right, for example.
John Garang.
Didn't want the split to happen, right? Mm-hmm. And even now, the Sudanese people, as they're going through this genocide, are starting to realize John Garang was the truth. Because everybody used to look at him as the leader that he was. Mm-hmm. Why was his biggest thing about like us not splitting? Because he saw what could happen and how easily that was for other countries to be able to get involved in the country. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. Before John Garang died, where was he at? He was at the White House with George Bush talking about the oil situation. Did he deny him the oil? Yes. He said it was for our people and our people alone. What happened to him? Gone. I always say that when we did finally split up, who was involved in the split, what specific countries had their thumb on it, and we're like, okay, we're going to give it to these specific leaders, a.k.a. maybe puppets. I'm not going to continue saying that.
Right.
So that conversation of like, should we really have split? Yeah. For me, it's leaning more towards no, like my mother said, but we're already split.
Obviously, we didn't want to split. That wouldn't be the first. That would be the first thing that like the solution. But if you're literally being bombed, genocide, like genocide is being like enacted on innocent people. If you're asking for autonomy and you're not getting it, you're asking to be treated as an equal class citizen, but you're continuing being treated as a second class citizen. What can you do about that? And that's like that's an issue that a lot of people are saying, like, yeah, people need to talk about like the colonialism and like Arab colonization and actually come to grasp with that and how that has impacted Sudan, because there is a lot of like racism and discrimination that people really didn't want to talk about. It was like mostly like, oh no, let's not talk about right now. Let's talk about like politics, but everything coincides together. Racism, discrimination, politics, all those have to be discussed together. Mm-hmm. But we weren't being treated as like the first class citizens, like our Arab brothers and sisters, or the ones who were more lighter skinned.
Could they not say the same thing about Sudan right now? South Sudan right now?
There's still racism.
Oh, in South Sudan?
Yeah, they could say the same because they like a lot of the tribes feel unheard.
South Sudan or Sudan?
South Sudan. They feel unrepresented.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like we replicated
both Sudan.
Yeah, both Sudan. I feel like, but that's the thing. I feel like our government just replicated what they learned from Khartoum.
Mm-hmm. So could that be an argument of why? Because let me read John's comment. He says Sudan is a clear picture of a kite that is trying to fly with one wing missing, and that is the South. South breaking away is always going to have effects. He was saying like,
I feel like it hurt both. It hurt both sides. It hurt Sudan. It hurt South Sudan. But what were we supposed to do?
I think the South leaving
now
was
is like now there's been talk since we broke away from Sudan. Now people want to break away again. And again and again. And same thing that's happening in Sudan. They want to separate and have their own. So it's just it's like, okay, how many times are we going to separate?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But then how many times are you going to try to reconcile it? It doesn't work. That can also go both ways.
But the problem is there is no Sudanese unity so this is going to sound terrible. Not nationalism, but there is no patriotism in the country that should be.
Christina always said that. She was like, we need a South Sudanese national identity.
And John Garang, I think, should be our George Washington. We should take cues from how the United States uses propaganda and the ability to educate their children and push them to believing that Sudan is a great nation. Like we have to be willing to use our educated young men and women who are great in these different aspects. Like even us right now.
I love when you say propaganda. We need
good propaganda works. Like what are we talking about here?
That's funny to me.
Propaganda is like the most prominent
every time I hear about propaganda, it's like a negative thing, but you use it in like a positive way.
Yes, man. I'm gonna do pro-black propaganda. I'm gonna do funny propaganda for our people because memes, for example, work in a way that actually gets people to believe in things. If you can get people to ironically believe Sudan is one nation, we could keep pushing it, we can get it right. People will instill that in their brain and subconsciously, you're still gonna do what's best to benefit the people. When you get to a point like where China, for example, they believe in the benefit of everybody and the family unit. If we can get to the point where we use our familial connections the way that we respect our elders to respect our country and be able to have our country respect us and take care of us, that's a different, we haven't.
All right,
I gotta jump in. We got a super chat. Thank you for the super chat from a free 3884.
Yes, that's our girl.
She said they are trying to split Nigeria. Yeah, my hope is that the Sudanese and the rest of Africa will get over their post-traumatic slave disorder and unite as one body, compromise of many cultures.
Yes,
I think that's the biggest problem with Africa, is that when you say we need one identity as South Sudanese people, that's a problem because we aren't technically one people. Everyone identifies as their tribe. So it's like you're trying to unite 64 different nations into one and then say, like, let's have one common identity. And that's why there's constantly fighting, is because when you talk about what does it mean to be a Dinka man, you're like, okay, Dinka men are this, that. Y'all have y'all's culture. You have your language. You have your one identity, you know? And I think that's one thing that needs to be addressed first before we say, okay, we need to just come together as one South Sudanese country and all just be South Sudanese.
But then if we hone in our differences, then like where do we have time to unite?
I don't think it's honing in. I think it's addressing it, because when we just say just forget everything and just be one people, it's never going to happen.
No, I don't think we should do that.
Identify as tribes.
I don't think we should do that either. And that's why I was saying, like, we need more like historical, like learning about each tribe and like learning about the differences of South Sudanese people.
Because there's stereotypes,
the states.
And like every tribe has their thing that they're known for. That people are like, oh, this Shilluk, they're like this, they're like this, they're like that. And same thing in Nigeria. When you think of Nigeria, you don't say like, oh, you're like, oh, are you Yoruba? Are you Igbo? Are you Hausa? That helps you understand more of who the person is, because they don't, it's not like, okay, I'm just one Nigerian. It's like even within them, they fight amongst each other, because the Igbos, like I went to a traditional wedding yesterday, it's like they have their language, their culture, their food, like everything is different. It's literally their own subset group. True. And I think that's why we're always constantly fighting.
Yeah, one of my Nigerian friends was like, not every, because you know how we say like Nigerians are very like luxurious, like they're very rambunctious. Is that the word? Rambunctious.
Yeah.
Educator, help me out. Oh, okay, there you go. Like, and so he was saying not every tribe is like that. It's like only some tribes. And I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I thought that was kind of like the whole thing with like, and like, you know how South Sudanese were very like, to ourselves, kind of like reserved.
What are we talking about?
But not every tribe is like that too. It's just, you know, it just depends on like the culture, like your culture and like where you were kind of raised as well, and the different states that you're raised in, and the closer you are to different like East African countries also impacts how what you eat, your culture, all of that stuff. So it is important to know like the differences between tribes. But like right now, when we're in a state of emergency, how do we come together? Like, you know what I mean?
You know what it is? There is no one, like I said, one singular culture there is actually a singular culture. Let's not lie about that. We do have like one culture that we all rock with, which is number one, Arabi Juba. Number two, like the when we're together, we generally have like a culture.
We don't unify until it comes to coming against someone else. That's the
coming
facts.
Or partying.
only time. Yeah.
Or partying?
No,
Or partying.
even then.
Even partying, we split.
I mean, we
Partying, that's when the fights happen the most.
I don't know about. Okay, maybe it's because me, Juju, and the boys is big. Like, ain't nobody really
nobody's
trying to fight.
y'all.
But yeah, when it comes to fighting somebody else, South Sudanese, we unified.
for sure.
Very unified.
Okay, when basketball comes up, what do we do as a group? We all Sudanese.
Oh,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Fighting
When
someone
it's
else.
against someone else,
Yeah.
we can unite, but we just can't seem to unite when we
Within
are
ourselves.
amongst ourselves.
Okay, so we got to understand that right now the enemy is surrounding us, and they see the opportunity to take. So I'm like, this is gonna sound really terrible, but you have to do this. You have to understand that other groups of people are taking advantage of our culture. If we do not let every 64 tribes get a piece of what they need to get when it comes to our economy, or every piece of what we do to develop as a country, everyone else is going to take it from us. So there has to be propaganda used. Again, I'm talking about propaganda.
What is the propaganda that we're going to use?
Propaganda.
Let's
So
sell this to the
you have
government.
to you kind of have to take the blueprint from other countries that use nationalism. Sudanese nationalism should be the first move, and I'm not talking about in a way where it becomes fucking Hitler-esque or what's called
just for a sense of identity and
just a sense of identity and pride in the fact that all 64 tribes were a part of the revolution. All 64 tribes were a part of the split. All 64 tribes should have equal representation. All 64 tribes should be a part of industry to develop the country to be better.
Emmanuel, I like that because the whole narrative that has always been that like Dinka and Nuer people were the ones who fought in the war. We're never going to get anywhere with that type of narrative because even Willie talked about that, like how he had people who died in the war, and it does make you want to like separate yourself if you're not being included in what the identity of the country is and the revolution. Like now you're saying that it's just so is it like are we one South Sudan or are we just Dinka and Nuer?
We should call it 64 for 64.
I like that.
64 for 60, the 64 for 64 movement. I mean, all 64 need to be able to do what we need to do and push ourselves better. I mean, around the diaspora, we need to have a fund. We need to have a group of people that are nationalized so that we can go to this government and be like, this is what we want. This is how we want it to be developed. And it should be a priority that only South Sudanese nationals, only Sudanese people from the specific area can have first dibs on when it comes to development, when it comes to everything else, when it comes to land, when it comes to all these stuff. People have to have loops to do.
We have to
help.
dismantle narratives.
Exactly.
Dismantle like tribalistic narratives.
Exactly.
And then give opportunities to every tribe, not just one.
And the people coming back.
Counteract nepotism. And nepotism also benefits like the biggest tribes because they're the ones who already have positions.
There should be a regulation.
Come on now.
There should be a regulation for the amount of people and specifically what cultures are involved in your businesses and in your government. So like there should be a narrative to be able to have representation for all 64. There should be 64 members in Congress or whatever we have, right, in our government that are from each tribe that can be the voice for their people, and people should be able to put in what they want and the changes that they want in their areas. And that should be where it goes from there. Now, am I trying to be a politician? Fuck no. Don't kill me.
Period.
I'm just a
I'm going to jump in there real quick. Thank you for the super chat to, I'm going to butcher this. Wambal Mugisha.
Damn, that's a name, ain't it?
Thank you so much. And then John said, what if we, the young people in the two Sudanese countries, try this? Reunifying the country with absolute nonviolent method. I really don't like what's happening in North.
The young people, if we tried that?
Ooh, okay.
You said the young people tried that?
Yes. And shout out to Chimakalu, just entered the chat.
Hi, Chima. Yeah, I think that's what we all want, right? We want nonviolent methods, but all we know is violent method. All we know is war. Like we literally, okay, so that's the thing. Remember how Dr. Nazanin was talking about how like the identity of Sudanese politics has always been violent. They always were able to extract things through violence. Yeah. And that's just how it's always been from the beginning of time. And I feel like now as us being South Sudanese being split from Sudan, that's all we know too. Like we
Right.
literally just took that same type of method and strategy and used it against South Sudanese, our own people.
Yeah.
So what they used against us, we used it against our own people. Because that's all we know. We don't know any other strategy but to be violent, but to like take down insurgencies through violence, to take down like rebel groups through violence. There's no talking.
Historically, it's only been violence at times. Even with Dr. King, right? People used to use them. The way the United States has flipped his narrative is weird. But he used violence to show people the change. When it comes to nonviolence, he was strategic in the marches because he used their violence against us, them, the African Americans here, to show the world, look at what they're doing to us. Even when we're trying to not be violent, look at how they treat our nonviolence. They are always going to.
Oh
be
yeah,
violent.
I remember he showed that.
So when we do violence, it's not that we are a terrorist group. The Black Panthers were never a terrorist group, but you put us next to the KKK. Come on, let's have that real conversation.
That's so triggering. I hate that gaslighting stuff.
Yeah.
that they do. Like how they say like the black BLM is the same thing as the KKK. Be serious, but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
Angel Lugo. Oh, you want to read that one?
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead. You've just been quiet for a while.
I'm just listening. This is intriguing. Shout out to Angel. I think this generation, we get along with each other so well. We kind of don't think of tribalism, ? I also feel like that's also just because we were born and raised in not in our home countries.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's
add
true.
to that. Was it John that mentioned about the young generation? I think we have an advantage as the younger generation, being South Sudanese, being African, because of education. I feel like because of the modern. What's the word I'm looking for? Us being more modernized.
I know that's
modernized and exposed to more, just more things. Like we know more about our cultures. We're still learning. We have things like the podcast right now, where we're able to, I think, use the information and also use the history of other countries, including the U.S. and probably Australia, wherever we are in a diaspora. But I feel like we can use our experiences and our knowledge to try to reunite if possible, or at least like he said, do things in a non-violent way.
Yeah.
Because I think we have more tools and resources to do so. Because people, we keep repeating history. It's like you keep repeating history because you don't know better. At this point, it's like, can you really blame what's happening on them?
Yeah, if we were to act violently, then that's our fault because we know better. We actually were able. Our parents brought us here to do better. So if we repeat the same cycle, that really is on us.
So I agree with
bad.
John.
Yeah.
In hopes of taking that different route.
This is where like we have to take examples of like my boy Ibrahim Traoré and them out there. It's like they have such national pride that even when some of his guardsmen were bribed.
Ibrahim Traoré, can you tell the people where he's from?
Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
He's the current leader of Burkina Faso who just had a coup, and he specifically used it to nationalize a lot of their industries, especially the ones that were taken advantage by the West, to the point of they actually jailed one of the members who's been taking some of their, what was it? Was it not their diamonds, right? What mine was it? One of the mines, I think.
Yeah.
And to the point of they basically did a forensic accounting of what money that they were making and how much they owed the country. And it turned out they were stealing way more, and they pretended like the country still owed more, to the point where they said, you will have to pay us the money back or you're still going to end up in jail. And so they pushed them out, same way that they pushed out France. And that's why the West is trying to go to Nigeria, because it's a strategic spot to where it is against the West's best interest and against the United States' best interest. And it is the truth. Like, even with the situation that's happening in Sudan, you have to look at what they're trying to do, why they want to divide us the way that they do, and taking advantage of things that are actually legitimate causes to be able to push their agendas onto specific countries. So when it comes to Sudan, it's the easiest way for the West to be able to establish a new place, because the truth is, it is a gold rush or a resource rush to go to Africa right now, because they know that the development of Africa, like they said, in the next 50 years is going to be insane. And that's their biggest fears, is like not being able to be a part of it, because what's happening to the West right now, it's they're falling apart. The United States is falling apart right now. Like, you see what China has done in the last 50 years. You see what these Asian nations have done. And their part is they're gently colonizing us versus what the other people are doing. So be fearful of why these people are giving out the way that they're giving out handouts, and be cognizant of these handouts are designed so that they can take the most advantage of it. So we're getting 360 deals.
That's why I'm kind of worried about this whole like narrative about the genocide that's happening in Nigeria, and if it's like actual genocide. I don't want to be insensitive because, you know, I'm not there, but I don't know. Like, I can't trust like Western voices that are speaking on it. I need somebody that's actually on the ground to speak on. But right now, it's really Western voices that are talking about the genocide in Nigeria and like the Christian genocide. And it's like, hold on, are y'all just trying to go have a reason to go to Nigeria and extract, or is this really a genocide?
How long has Boko Haram been doing what it's been doing? It's been doing this thing since I was in high school. Nigga, I'm 30, right? Think about that. I remember Boko Haram. I remember having these conversations a long time ago with people. And all of a sudden now, the United States is cognizant. All of a sudden, the Christians are being oppressed. Let me tell you something. It's not just Christians dying in the North. It is Muslims and Christians. And that's the conversation you have to have yourself. Why are they using Islamophobia to push this agenda that the United States needs to help out Christians?
And then why does any other country have to go into a different country to fix anything? The countries have the resource, not even just the resources. We have the capacity to help ourselves. And so when you should always be cautious when another Western country says, we're going to go into this country to Africa and we're going to go help. Because there's never been an example of them coming into our country and helping us do anything. They've always exploited us every single time. So
they're trying to use the Rwanda method on the Nigerians. Remember what happened to Rwanda?
Yeah.
Clinton knew that the Rwandan genocide was going to happen. You know who also knew the Rwandan genocide was going to happen? The Rwandan freaking later president, who was a part of the minority that was going to get killed. And he allowed his people, well, I'm not going to say he allowed his people, allegedly he allowed his people to go through that so that he could seize power. And now he got power, which led to what was happening, and they're being able to help out what was happening in Congo, help out, right? And leading to more of the situation in Congo getting worse. Ask yourself, how is Rwanda having their thumpet in in Congo the way that they are? Do a little bit more research on Rwanda, and you'll realize real quickly their game plan.
Oh yeah, for sure. King Leopold's Ghost is a really, really good book about the exploitation of the Congo, but it also talks about Rwanda as well, and I think it all just comes together. So yeah, that was a good way to kind of wrap this episode, well, not episode, this live stream up. I guess we would talk about all things. What would you call this episode? All things colonialism, politics.
I don't know. We kind of went
everywhere. Can y'all help us name the episode live chat, please? This live chat.
Yeah, what should we name this? For those that were here from the beginning.
Yeah.
Thankful for the natives. That's what we should call it.
Thankful for the natives. Thankful to the natives and the indigenous people.
Yes. Indigenous thanks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What else y'all got? What else y'all got?
You don't like that? Oh, okay.
Oh no, we just need more options so we can have more to pick from. So they can comment. You know, that will help.
Okay.
Someone might.
Also, for those of y'all that do want to discuss, this is a call to action.
Because it's so broad. I mean, if someone is just looking at it, what does that mean?
Yeah, and thanks to the indigenous people. Like, okay.
I will say we do need to have a call to action.
See, we're getting some good stuff. All things Pan-Africanist, independence and local conflict.
I like that one.
Oh, see, we gotta let the people decide.
Yeah, y'all I like that.
Yeah,
let's talk about local conflict.
Okay. Yeah, we need. Yeah. And then we're gonna do another episode here, but it's not. Should we do it live or no?
Well, let's ask them. What's the episode topic? The TPS.
We got three options.
Oh, okay.
So we gotta figure out which one we want to do today. So we'll see.
Facts.
Because I will say the what's called that will go viral if we do talk about the peons.
That's true.
That's a funny title.
Oh, all us niggas need to come together.
I like that. Straightforward. I like that.
Okay, thank you, Afri, for that suggestion.
But yeah,
got a few.
Is there anything that you guys want us to discuss? Maybe we can on the next episode?
Yeah, we're doing another topic after this.
Yeah,
so
like an actual real episode that's going to come out on Tuesday.
We have some options. We have the ending of the temporary protective status that just went into effect.
For South Sudanese. So South Sudanese people that are here with TPS, their immigration status is at risk. And so we were going to discuss that, the implications, and maybe provide some resources.
I mean, we could talk about potentially all three of those things
in one episode, right?
In one episode, and do like real quick.
Yeah. And then we were gonna talk about the Pion tribe stealing South Sudanese girls without our consent. The Black Israelites. That's a whole story. Can you briefly talk about it, Emmanuel?
Oh, okay. So Pion is there's a Black Hebrew Israelite who's been very interested in Sudanese women. He did a ranking system of all these Sudanese women who he believes will help him when the God comes back, when Jesus comes back, and only dark-skinned people will be able to populate the world because those are the real people, right? And so he's choosing Sudanese women. He did a 8-woman bracket, and as he went through this bracket, he was able to find his 3 queens. And when he found his 3 queens, they were all Sudanese women. And they would be with him in the nation of Pion, and they would repopulate the world.
And one of the queens was Emmanuel's sister, Blue Nile. So.
Which my sister was the 3rd queen. I was disrespected by that.
But not the 3rd queen.
Why was my sister number 3, brother?
Right.
Also, crazy. Where's the dowry money? You talking this stuff.
Right.
Where my money at?
Yeah, so that's crazy. Is that fetishization?
Like, that's extreme fetishization.
That's wild. Yeah.
And we have to discuss this because I always say, like, this is an extreme example, but it is the prime example. I've always said that, like, even though they love us, right, what do they look at us as?
And it's so crazy to go from like back in the day, like being African and being dark skinned was like undesirable, and then going to like, I don't even know if it's being desirable or being like, I don't even know what it is.
A figment of people's lust where they're just like, look at your skin.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
You're exotic. I remember I had a woman fetishize me at a factory I was working at. It was a light-skinned sister, and she was like, oh my God.
Yeah, and I don't know what that is. Like, is that like actually being desired for? I don't know. I'm still.
I'm gonna down this hill. Hotepism is like white supremacy, but for Black people.
Well, right? There you go.
And that's what it is. Because the way she spoke about me, she was like, "You're an original man. You're a person from you're truly Black." And then she grabbed my hand. She was like, "Oh my God, where are you from?" And I said, "Sudan." She's like, "You're the original Egyptian." I was like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Angel said, I think you guys should do an episode with an elder and a youth and talk, comparing, contrasting tribalism traditions and their thoughts. That definitely would be a good one.
We need to bring one of our parents. We need to bring one of our parents on, like, or we should interview each of our parents.
My mom is coming. But yeah, I think that's a good idea. Like talking about like tradition, culture, tribalism, but with the mix of like the new generation, old generation. That's actually, I loved it. But it was such a pleasure speaking to you guys today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and wrap this live up. Feel free to, leave comments.
Oh, Lord. Jeremy said, Christine and Sarah, y'all try to make y'all color seem so unique. Half of African Americans is y'all color.
Huh?
What?
Huh? Oh, y'all think that Christine and Sarah are the color that's on the podcast?
Yeah.
Y'all don't realize
we're darker.
Huge lights.
This is a light camera action.
But even so, of course, there are African Americans that are dark skinned. That are, of course.
Do you know how many niggas in Mississippi that I know that look like me?
Well, first of all, when we were in high school, when I was in high school, they acted like my color was unique. Like they had never seen such a dark skinned person before.
Same.
Is that my fault? Like you know what I mean? Like, but I think like Amanual said, this is us with lighting. We're in the studio, so we are very much South Sudanese colored.
I'll just be quiet.
I'll
be like,
listen, this lighting be getting you. Shout out to Spider though. Thank you, Spider, for this beautiful
shout
lighting.
out to the Black people of Mississippi and like a lot of Southern people because there are skin tones too.
Yeah.
And it's so dope when you meet them because
even the East Coast,
they are like, oh my God, my people. And I'm like, yeah, I'm from Africa, and it's like the dopest experience to see somebody be like, oh, I've seen your people, like y'all look like us, and it's so dope to see y'all in media. And I'm like, yeah, brother, that's dope. Like come on, man, love your skin.
Jeremy said you proving my point, Amanual, with the Mississippi comment.
But that's my point. Is like
he's agreeing. Black people come in all shades.
Yeah, you're right. That's
including
true.
from the darkest of the dark to the lightest, and we have that in Africa too.
But I think colorism in itself makes
even
black
in Sudan, South Sudan, there's light. There's everyone's not dark skinned.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But it's just the colorism makes dark skin feel like, oh wow, you're like an other, like you're so dark. But yeah,
he's writing the statement, but it's not right in media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where like when media remembers you for a specific way, you have to be honest with yourself and say, what did y'all say to those specific people that were our skin tone that were African American? Y'all would call them African booty scratchers. Y'all would call them, damn, you black. Or they would be super dark jokes that were made. And during that time, it was us not remembering or understanding that it was colorism and it was anti-black.
Yeah, so then we thought our skin color was unique. Like maybe we're different. Like, you know?
Exactly.
So
I would hope that everybody gets to see somebody that looks like me on TV all the time. Or on any media all the time. But you don't.
America. Amanual, not the chest out.
That's what I was thinking.
Hey, man,
I was thinking that too. Okay.
Did you just pop those buttons open now? You get comfortable?
Nah, it's because I'm so big that it just popped out.
I like the
on its own. Okay.
Wrist. I like that.
All right. That's not the after dark segment. Calm down. But we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, y'all, because Amanual is.
All right, we're out of here, y'all. We love y'all. We'll see you guys on the next episode and the next live. And we hope you guys had a beautiful Thanksgiving first and foremost.
Yes.
We'll see you guys soon.